Hi guys, I am Uchekwa and today I will be taking you through arithmetic sequence. With arithmetic sequence, there are terms that are commonly used throughout the section. So those terms are Tn, which is the nth term. It's Tn, which means the nth term, and it's also A, which means the first term, and there is also D, which means the common difference. Then there is T1, T2, T3, T4, going on and on up until Tn. This means this is the first term, the second term, the third term, going on up until the nth term, which is the Tn. Right, now to get in arithmetic sequence, to get the D, which is the common difference, to get D, this is the equation, is T1 minus T2, it's equals to T3 minus T2. That means that the difference you get between T2 between T2 and T1 should be the same difference between T3 and T2. If it's not the same, then it does not qualify to be an arithmetic sequence. Then with arithmetic sequence, you must bear in mind that if our first term is A, to get the second term, then we have to add A plus D. We always add D to the next term. So our preceding term A, we add D to it so that we can get the next term. The same happens when we need to get the third term, then we'll still need to add the common difference as well, which will make this to be A plus 2D. And even with the third term, it will be A plus 2D plus D again, and this will give us A plus 3D. So from saying this, we can actually come up with the equation that this was our first term, which is A. The second term is A plus D. The third term is A plus 2D, and the fourth term is A plus 3D. Now, from this, we can come up with the equation Tn, which is our nth term, which it will be nth term it's equals to A, which is our first term, plus n minus 1. N is our nth term, is the number of term, and minus 1 multiplied by D, which is our common difference. So we can actually see that this equation here, it does comply to what's written here, because our first term, which is T1 here, T1, this is T2, T3, this is T4. Right, our first term is A, so it was going to be A plus n, which is 1 because it's our first term, minus 1, which will be 0. Then it will remain as T, and it's equals to A for our first term. So with our second term, it was going to be A plus our n, it's 2, minus 1 multiplied by D. 2 minus 1 is 1, then multiplied by D, it will be A plus D. So it does comply to what's written in here. So just a quick recap so that when we do questions, you will understand that we only use these terms that are written here. Tn, which is our nth term, A is our first term, D is our common difference, of which to find the common difference we use T2 minus T1, it's equals to T3 minus T2. That means that the difference between T2 and T1, it must be the same difference between T3 and T2. If it's not, then the series that we are given does not qualify to be an arithmetic sequence. And then when we go on, our Tn, we find it by saying A plus n minus 1 multiplied by D. Our A is still the same as the first term, n is the number of term, and then D is our common difference. Now let's go and let's get a question so that we can see how this will work out. Alright, the first question that I have here, we have a sequence starting by 11, negative 1, negative 13, and negative 25. From here, we know that this is our T1, this is our T2, this is our T3, this is our T4. So we have 4 terms that we are given. So the first question says we must find the nth the nth term, which is Tn. To find Tn, remember the equation says Tn is equals to a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, all multiplied by d. So our a from this sequence that we are given is 11 because it's our first term. Now to find d, remember the equation says T2 minus T1 is equals to T3 minus T2. Then this is equals to this is equals to, you write this side, this is our T2 is negative 1 minus T1, which is 11. It's equals to T3, it's equals to negative 13, and our T2 there, it's equals to negative 1. Then from here, negative 1 minus 11, it will give us negative 12. It's equals to negative 13 plus 1, it will also give us negative 12. Then we conclude that from the sequence that we are given, it is indeed an arithmetic sequence. Then to find our Tn, we just substitute negative 12 and a, which is 11, into the equation so that we can find our equation for the term that we are given. So Tn, it's equals to a, which is 11, plus n is the number of term, remember, and then d is equals to negative 12. Then from here, we can now multiply into the brackets. Negative 12 multiplied by n, it will be minus 12n. Negative 12 multiplied by negative 1, it will be plus 12. Then at the end, our equation is equals to negative 12 and 11 plus 12, it will give us 23. So our equation is negative 12n plus 23. All right, then the next question to this sequence that we are given, it says we must find T17. N is equals, this time we are given n is equals to 17. So they need to know what is the n, what is the T17. So our T17, the equation doesn't change, it's still the same. We have our pattern equation, which is 12n, negative 12n plus 23. Then that means that instead of n here, we're going to substitute n by 17 so that we can get T17. Then it will be negative 12 and it will be negative 12, and instead of 17, instead of n, remember we substitute it by 17 and then plus 23 on the other side. Then negative 12n this would be negative 204 plus 23, it will be negative 181. Then that is our T17. Just a quick recap. This is the sequence that we are given. It's 11, negative 1, negative 13, negative 25. Then from here, from the sequence that we are given, we know that our A, which is the first term, is equals to 11. Then our D, which is the common difference, we found it by saying T2 minus T1 is equals to T3 minus T2, of which our T2 is negative 1 minus 11, which is our T1, then we get negative 12. The same as T3 minus T2, we still got negative 12. That's just a confirmation that our sequence, it is an arithmetic sequence. Then from there, we have, to this equation, we just substitute A and our common difference so that we can get this the equation for the pattern. Then after substituting there, we got negative 12n plus 23. Then this is our equation for finding any term along this sequence. Then the next question was, we must find T17. Then that means that instead of n, we have to replace n by substituting 17, of which this is what we did here. When we multiply, we get negative 104 plus 23, and it gives us negative 181. Thank you. I hope that you have enjoyed the session and you will continue watching further. And if you have any question or comment, just drop it in the comment note, then we'll have a follow-up on it. Thank you.